And welcome back to another week of Friday Night Fights. We are covering Season 11, Division 4D, pretty much the Eurogamer division at this point. We're on Week 10 of the season, and with me as always is Charles.
Hello.
And back from the dead is Juvasek.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, he made it back. He was on,
There he is.
Yeah, he was on some kind of military leave, secret mission.
Yeah, sorry, can't talk about.
Yeah, can't talk about it. That's unfortunate. We keep probing him for details, but he just won't give them up. We don't know what he's been up to. We do know that you've been streaming a lot, Juvasek, so people out there, check out Juvasek's stream. The good thing about it is it's his nighttime when he's streaming is during my daytime while I'm at work. Wait, I didn't say that out loud if my boss is listening. Alright, let me take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we'll get right into our scorecards. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our scorecard. We take a look at last week's results, see how you guys did, and we're going to get right into our main event that Charles had picked, is the Sterling Hornets versus the Commanders in Grief. Charles, did you get to watch this game?
I did not. This was the first main event I didn't watch, I think. But I am pretty saddened that it basically ends the Pro Elf chances of getting any sort of off-season action.
Right. Juvasek, did you happen to watch this game?
Yeah, I did. First have to say that it's not Sterling Hornets' fault that they ended. You picked them as the top team, so they would fail.
Yeah, it's all on Charles.
Expected.
Yep.
Not their fault. Yeah.
Not their fault at all. I agree with Juvasek.
Yeah. Imagine how unlucky they were. First turn, 4 first hit, 3 on the base and 1 blitz. 2 injuries, 1 KO, 1 stun.
That's on the first turn?
Yeah, all
Ouch.
thanks to Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Poor Charles. Or poor Sterling Hornets.
And you can imagine that it was 1-0 for the Commanders Grief that way first half.
Yeah.
Sterling Hornets put up a fight. They tried to blitz the corner of the cage. They succeeded in it, but too few players to actually hold off the line.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Sterling Hornets armor, and it held up 12 times, but it failed 14 times. Ouch. That's it's gonna be a long day. You would expect at least like 50% there. So I get
maybe 17.
Yeah, you want
has game like that, right?
Yeah, you gotta plan for that, I guess. But you want at least like 50%, and you hope for that.
Which makes me think how Self does it on Division 1. I actually been meaning to watch more of his games because
Oh yeah.
he stays in the top for a while with the Pro Elf team.
Yeah, it eventually catches up to you, but he's doing a lot of it. Let's see, anything else interesting? It looks like the Commanders in Grief held the ball the most, 31% in their half, and 31% in the opponent's half.
Yeah, that's correct.
But not a ton of, well, no deaths actually. 3 casualties for the Hornets and 1 for the Commanders. 4 KOs for the Sterling Hornets and 2 KOs for the Commanders. So, to me, just looking at this without watching it, it looks like it was just one of those typical Orc beatdowns on Armor 7.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 3 of them were first round, so it doesn't really give you any chance of fighting back.
Yeah. We'll have the coach on later in the show to discuss his team. Let's take a look at our next game. Dazed and Confused, is that right? And Skobhob and Skavens, why is that game not complete?
Haven't been played.
Those guys are slackers. Grumble, Grok, Gorgers, Mass Bolts.
Yeah, this was always gonna be a difficult matchup for the Ogres,
Yep.
and the 3-1 shows it.
Yeah, it does. Let's take a look at some statistics. Now, the Gorgers held the ball 43% ball possession. That's amazing. 25% in the opponent's half, 18% in their own half. So it looks like they got the ball and held it. Did either of you check out this game?
Yeah, I did. Actually, it was easier than it looks like. It was 0-3 to 1-3. Huge difference was the Wizard. Made things a lot easier. If you see the stats also, they didn't allow too many hits. from the ever dangerous ogres. So it came pretty easy. The,
Oh,
the
yeah.
1-3 win, yeah.
It looks like they didn't throw a lot of block dice to ogres, so were the elves just dodging away whenever they could?
How many
Yeah.
were?
All right. How many were there?
Yeah.
I have to total it up here, but they had 24 total POWs, 28 pushes, 11 both downs, and 9 skulls. But let me see if there's blocks. Let's see. Blocks sustained. The mass bolts took 33 blocks. So
That's
it seems a little low.
a good number. Yeah,
Is it?
that's what you look for as an elf team.
I have to
Yeah,
put like
30,
70 blocks on the elf.
70.
Yeah. Put as many as you can on elves. Just crush them. All right. 30. That's just breakfast. We got to get to lunch.
As the elf team, that's a good number. You look for 30 to 35 blocks because you can't really give less than that unless you are removing players.
Yeah, the elves gave 18 blocks, or hit the gorgers 18 times. The mass bolts took 33 hits. But yeah, I would expect that was just a lot of dodging away. Elf shenanigans.
And you can't expect
Oh.
to win elf team with only 2 chaos inflicted.
The
It should have been more.
the dodge dice, the mass bolts dodged away 51 times. Well, that's 41 successful dodges, 10 failures. So they did what they're supposed to do there, I guess, and the orcs or the gorgers just couldn't take advantage of them. 3-1.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. Bavarian is playing the admin game. Draktar squad. It's a 1-0 win over Bring Out Your
yes.
Undead. Boy, that's an
I
upset.
want to talk about this one.
All right, go ahead.
This is the surprise of the season, I guess.
I think so. Yeah.
Everyone thought was a pretty easy matchup for Camry, but guys, Soma and his orcs had another plan. So a big thing happened right on turn 1 when the Camry decided to go for a bully front line. They
Okay.
put a normal line of scrimmage with 3 players.
Yeah.
But then they put their 4 Tomb Guardians on the line of scrimmage as well. So
On defense?
yes,
Oh
they
my
have
God.
7 players on the line of scrimmage
Okay.
to pressure more blocks, maybe some uphill blocks, maybe some one dice
Yeah.
out of the orcs, and it backfires because the orcs are able to put some of them on the ground and are able to push them to the sidelines, and that opens a safe space where they stay for a while in the middle. And those Tomb Guardians, they have a tough time getting back into the middle of the pitch, so the orcs have a nice pocket for them right there.
Nice.
And then when they finally are pressured, they just go to the sideline and they score next turn. They leave the carry 3 turns to score, and that's 2-0, so that's the first half right there. And then on the second half, things start to look better for the Camry as they get two casualties on like first and second turn, something like that. And getting casualties over EV9 is pretty big, so I thought they were going to score there. They advance to the side with a screen, a strategy they have been using recently. But when it comes time to, I think they were going to score, if I remember correctly. They go for a blitz with one of the Tomb Guardians that needs a GFI before hitting, and then they 1 in 36 the GFI, and then it's a disaster. The ball is served, the orcs recovered, and they keep trying to do a solo touchdown by every time getting sacked, dodging away, getting the ball, GFIing, and then the opponent paces or sacks again, and they go back and forth like this until the game ends.
Nice. Here's my favorite statistic of the game. The Draktar squad dodged successfully 19 times. Failed 6 of them.
Dodging at the end.
What is with all the dodging? My God. And then here's an even better statistic: is Bring Out Your Undead. 0 successful dodges and 3 fails. What are you doing dodging with Edge 2? Man, that must have been desperation.
it got pretty crazy after the ball surf. I guess a lot of those dice happened there.
Okay. Wow.
And the director squad, throughout that first half, they do have to throw a lot of red die, and the red die didn't roll skulls. So you can say that's lucky, but when you are punching with block and the opponent doesn't have block, the
Was it like 51%?
red die, yeah, the red die is actually not that bad.
It's not that, and with a reroll, it's really not that bad at all. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, the coach of Tractor Squad though should be pretty upset at his Black Orc, the Strength 5. It's now his third game that he can't inflict one casualty, so he levels up.
That's a bummer. His other Black Orc picked up a new a level though, and so did the Tomb Guardian picked up a level as well.
I bet when he got to 5 SPP, the coach must be so happy, like, oh yeah, almost there.
Yeah, just one
It's
more.
never happening.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, three matches now, 3 games. He
Ouch.
can't inflict one injury to get the block.
That's a bummer.
Let's hope for this week maybe he does it.
And he better take Mighty Blow because he's slow.
Oh yeah, that could be a good idea.
Yeah, he wants to keep up. Let's take a look at what do we got? Beer Brawl Club 1-1 tie with Rebbl Cheese Thieves. Beer and cheese for the tie. Let's take a look here. The Brawl Club had an 87% ball possession. That is amazing. But then again, the Rebbl Cheese Thieves probably just one turn touchdown and go. 1 death
Could be.
sustained on each club and 5 casualties by the Cheese Thieves. 1 casualty to the Brawl Club. So dwarfs just doing what dwarfs do. Cheese Thieves trying to do what they do. Nice day on skill points for the Brawl Club. 10 points for the Cheese Thieves. Not too bad, not too great. Let's take a look at some statistics here. Nothing unusual for the Brawl Club. For the Cheese Thieves, a lot of failed dodges. 80% success rate on that. Armor.
That's average.
Is that average? I was thinking your dodging is only going to be with dodge from like the Paneer and stuff like that. I mean, mostly.
Yeah, but it counts the ways where the ones where you use the skill reroll.
Yeah.
It counts those, so you should expect 83%.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Injuries, 10 successful, 5 failed, so not a great injury percentage there. Other than that, nothing really stands out to me. Did either of you get to see this one?
Yeah, I watched it. Actually, the dwarves should have won. Unfortunately, they made a huge mistake last turn, where the ball carrier was a step from scoring. Sever, the gutter runner, was basing him. He has sidestep and dodge. He could cut both of the places. He could sidestep and then just move the ball carrier to score.
Right.
But he made a huge mistake in not covering even one of the space and blitzing with the Troll Slayer, which he has no tackle. He had a long beer available, and that costed him the win eventually because he had to take 1 GFI. He failed, rerolled into non-hit, second GFI, failed, and
Ouch.
that was it.
Oof.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's not going to make
Well,
that
lesson
mistake
learned,
again.
I guess.
Yeah,
Lesson-
he could not have taken any GFIs and just a push would be more.
Just a push would have got it there. Well, that's unfortunate, but it's one of those things you learn as you go.
And did
Yeah, we all done it.
the Cheese Thieves never get the chance to one turn? What happened there?
They scored the touchdown in one turn. They were losing 1-0 on Dwarf's drive, and they scored, of course, in one turn with Paneer, and they tied the score. Then they tried to not score early. That was the right decision, I think, because they already had players out, but
Sure.
they couldn't stall it, and they ended up losing the ball. And as the match progressed, you would bet that the Dwarves will win. There were only 3 rats remaining on the field.
Yeah, there must be some strategic mistake there, because when the dwarfs are catching your gutter runners and stopping your offense like that, The score surprises me. The 1-1. I thought either they would lose 1-0 or maybe they would win in this situation, right?
All right.
Yeah, it was only one gutter runner remaining in the end.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Only served. Yeah, the other were out.
So maybe the damage was the reason why they couldn't score there. Their offense was not successful.
Yeah, it was really tough because just a base from a dwarf into a rat, you couldn't make up the numbers for that.
All right. Let's take a look at Bogue Bombers and Sweet Teeth Forever 1-1.
That was actually surprising as well.
Yeah,
Kind of an upset.
Yeah, I think so. I thought the Bombers would have taken that one. Sweet Tooth Forever got a tie, so let's take a look at some statistics here. 43% ball possession for the Bombers, 37% for the Sweet Teeth, so fairly even. Blocks were about 10 in favor of the Bombers. KOs in favor of Sweet Teeth. Injuries in favor of Sweet Teeth here. 1 kill inflicted by Sweet Teeth as well. Interesting.
And Sweet Teeth remain unpredictable and keep playing to the level of opposition. Doesn't matter if the opposition is on the top or on the bottom.
Yeah.
They make it close.
Yeah.
Somehow.
They make an exciting game, that's for sure.
Right.
Let's see if anything stands out here. Somebody had a wizard. 3 failures, 1 successful on a fireball. Nothing stands out for the Bombers. Let's see, Regen doing a thing for Sweet Teeth. A couple failed pickups, couple failed dodges. Nothing exciting. Did you see this game?
I did
No,
not.
unfortunately, I watched only the first 11 turns, I think.
Okay.
It was pretty equal though. The humans scored early, pretty safely because they got the 2 werewolves out of the field, and then you really can't catch up to the runners.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they scored pretty easily, but then the first 2 turns, the game swifted around, and they were hidden really hard. So they probably lost the number advantage, and they couldn't stop the werewolf returning from the KO. Something like that probably happened.
Yeah, that's a lot of blocks on both teams. I mean, they got up into the 90s, so interesting game. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we'll take a look at Junior 6 Combi Box and our Pound for Pound series. Like this. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. Up now, we're taking a look at Juicex CompuBox, and he is going to give us the heavy hitters for the week. So who do you have up this week, Juicex?
The first one is from Massballs. Is Minecraft the Catcher. He led his team to victory, scoring all 3 touchdowns in their match.
Yeah, that's a lot of touchdowns for one player. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Pretty sweet SPP for the coach.
yeah, that's a nice haul.
The second one was a surprise to me even because I didn't expect to post him for that reason. It's Andrews Max on the Blitzer from Commanders in Grief, and of course you expected that he inflicted a lot of casualties, but actually he scored both of the touchdowns in the victory.
I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I definitely didn't expect to present him for that reason.
Yeah.
Of course, he inflicted 1 KO and 2 casualties, and 3 turns 4, he was knocked out, so he didn't perform the whole match.
But he made up for it with his first play.
That was the best game he had all season then, because he scored and he still did the damage he's used to.
Yeah. That player is a terror.
Phenomenal performance, and he's 3 SPP away from leveling. If that guy gets tackled, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't
Right.
can't believe he's lived this long. I mean, I would have thought somebody in the division would have had a bounty out on him. But whatever division he goes into next season, I'm sure people are going to take notice of Andrew Smaxson. That guy's doing everything.
Oh, the claws are coming.
Yeah, the claws will come.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the nightmare.
The nightmare. Then it all kind of takes a slow turn down back hill. where you pick up a niggling injury or an armor bust, and it's just all downhill.
Yeah, usually everything finishes there. Oh, what a nice player I have. Look at the development, and somewhere there it ends.
Yep. As soon as you start to like a player, he's bound to get a stat bust. You hope it's something like edge, agility, or something. All right, that is our heavy hitter segment. Why don't we jump right into our pound for pound series, where we take a look at our leaderboard. So season 11, Division 40, on top of the division, Bogue Bombers. Were they on top last week? I can't remember.
Yes, they have been holding that for a while now.
So they're gonna hold
undefeated.
That. Yeah, the only person who's gonna get there is Bring Out Your Undead. That was the upset, wasn't it?
Well, he just lost that upset, but Dazed and Confused didn't play their match yet. If they win, they are in range.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's actually 4 teams in second place, really, with 6 wins. It's going to be touchdown differential then. The last thing you want to do is be in that area and have the Rebbl Cheese Thieves, because you're not going to catch their 8 touchdowns. That is a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, for the playoff cutoff there. Other than that, let's take a look at 5th and 6th here. Dazed and Confused, Commanders in Grief. The teams that I would say are probably out of it now are everybody below that. Teams like Sweet Tooth Forever and Sterling Hornets still playing to get some skills going into their next division.
Very unlikely for them to get something. But...
Yeah. Scott Pop and Skavens, no wins yet. We're still hoping to get that 1 win. I know nobody wants to end the season without a win, so it would be nice if he can.
They will get the bye week win.
Does that really count?
Not sure that counts.
I don't think that counts. Everybody else has 2 wins, so 1 admin and 1 regular win. I have to look at their schedule, which we can look at later, just to see who they've got coming up and see if they have a chance. But from this point on, try to level your players up if you're below in the bottom 7, because your next division, you're probably going to need it. You're going to be paired up against somebody with equal skill, usually, or an equal team value. So don't stop trying. Don't start quitting now. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will come back with our Contender Series. Who do we have up for the Contender Series this week? I believe it is
Clown Hornets coach.
Sterling Hornets. We'll take a look after these messages. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our Contender Series, where we take a look at somebody in the division, take a look at their team, take a look at some of their choices, where the team's going, where they're headed, what they're thinking. Up with us this week is Clown Thulu. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, great to have you on. Now, did you come from Eurogamer, or were you just moseying around?
Yes, I came from Eurogamer.
Okay, another one of you guys. Okay. So have you heard the show before?
Oh, absolutely. Watch it every week.
You watch it? Oh, you must have a lot of time on your hands. And
Masochist.
very bad taste in shows, apparently, because there's much better shows than our nonsense. So, if you've seen the show, you know the first question I'm going to ask you, right?
I have a feeling you're about to question Elf on his fashion choices.
That is 100% true. I just looked at your team again and realized why I never watched any of your games. This is a dreadful choice. What happened here?
Well, you see, I call my fashion style avant-garde, really.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we're an elf team, and we've come to the human lands to play some Blood Bowl, and we're gonna bring fashion to human Blood Bowl.
You should call it avant-garbage. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get right into it. Who cares about teams, how they look, except for me? Nobody. All right, let's take a quick look in here and see what we got. Now, Charles, since you're our elf expert, why don't you lead the way? Because I just like to kill elves. I don't really like to play them.
Okay, so let's start right away with the catcher, with AV6. What are we gonna do about it?
I was tempted to fire him last game, but having the block and dodge, I really was kind of counting on that, and he didn't get taken out. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to fire him, but he has tackle for the upcoming games, and I think that'll really help dealing with skinks, since I'm facing Lizardmen.
Maybe let him die on the beach down.
Yeah, give him a glorious death.
Yeah, Blodge Tackle is a pretty nice piece still, but man, that AV6, that's gonna be rough.
Well, if
Yeah.
he just never goes down.
Yeah, because elves are known for their sturdiness. Let's.
What about the other catcher, the wrestle strip ball guy? Why did you go dodge over the leap on that piece, and is leap the next skill?
I mean, leap is tempting, but if I don't get the AG5, I don't know. Those
You're leaping
odds,
on
I don't
three?
like it.
Okay.
Yeah, leaping on threes, is that, I mean,
That's if it's not I even fret about 2-ups, to be honest.
that's, yeah, me too. That's good thinking. That's a nice piece, though. I mean, it looks good. It has wrestle, strip ball. So, I mean, obviously, that's your ball sacker.
Right. So you're going for a more consistent one instead of a guy who can win games that are just lost.
I think elves have a fair chance of just doing that in general. So if you just kind of build for consistency, makes more games a little more solid rather than just winning that one every once in a while.
Other pieces you want to look at here, Charles. Obviously, the throw. Would the thrower get block? Did they start with block? I don't know enough about elves.
They got one.
All right.
And the strong arm, which is doubles, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you
So
picked
he's
strong
a
arm.
special thrower.
Yes.
Okay.
What about those blitzers? Do you want them to be efficient, just blood step guys, or are you having trouble giving them SPP because those catchers get so much of it?
I'm more giving them trouble SPPs because they're new. I think I've had 4 blitzers die now, and 3 of them
Okay.
I've apothecaried back into death again.
Oh, death, apothecary death.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
happened to 3 of my blitzers now.
You did the old dad play. I've done that a few times this year. That's an unfortunate one.
That's surprising because they are the only AV8 you got, and they're the ones that were falling, huh?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
because you're putting them in the mix for? I mean, you've got blocks, so you're using them to hit with.
Yeah, they do tend to get in there more because I'll give them like dodge, and they've already got block and sidestep, so they're really good at marking ball carriers. So sometimes I'll give them like diving tackle, things like that.
All right. So
And they are so good at level 1 that you really don't care that much if they are underdeveloped, I think.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
and they're elves. They can recover pretty quickly. I mean, you can throw them an easy touchdown here and there when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Let's see, your other catcher has guard. Is that a double? Is guard a double on these?
Yeah.
Okay, because I hate
I think
elves
so.
with strength and elves with guard. What are you gonna do with that piece next? You've got block and guard on that catcher.
Block and guard on him. I think dodge is going to be the next thing with that, keeping him upright, then
Trying to
maybe
be-
sidestep.
Yeah, trying to keep him alive. Because like I have trouble with hobgoblins with guard. You put them in where you don't want them to be, and if you don't get the knockdown, they're screwed. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's a tough one. AV7 and guard don't usually go really well together. You got kick. That's an obvious choice when you can get it. Your other catcher, let's see, wrestle dodge. Is that right? Yeah, wrestle. So you got two wrestlers on this team.
Yep, I usually try to go for like 2 wrestlers and 2 blocks.
Now linemen, if they live long enough, what's your normal build? Block.
Well, I really like that strength 4 lineman that I had, but he also dead apothecary dead.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, normally I go, is once I get a kicker, I go for block on a lot of them. Usually they don't get developed much farther after that. I guess if they did, I'd give them dodge,
All right.
just keep them upright.
Let's take a look. You went with human cheerleaders. Your stadium is the Hornet's Nest, and let's take a look at some of your statistics. 11 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses. So you're doing pretty well. How has your season gone? You felt?
It's definitely gone way worse than Eurogamer. For this one, it started out kind of strong, but then out of nowhere, it started with a couple ties and then just started to get hit with some losses. It has not been going well.
Oh, so that's just from season 11 so far. You've got 4 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, which that's not a bad season. I mean, by any means. I mean, it's not, you're not destroying the division, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're just right around the. Yeah, it's not a bad mark. Let's take a look. 11 casualties you've inflicted. How many have you taken? Death sustained. 2 deaths sustained so far. 22 casualties. So yeah, just typical elf nonsense. Yards passing 68, a little light. It seems like a little light for this late in the season for elf passing, but a lot of yards running, 682.
Yep.
So that's not too shabby. Have you had any matches that you really wish you could take back, or you could get another chance at?
Ooh. I think
from this season.
Facing the Kimry, the Bring Out Your Undead.
Yeah.
That one, I didn't really know how to go about them in the first couple turns, because with most people I've been able to send my guys with block and dodge into the fray and really harass people and be okay.
Yeah.
But the Kimry just destroyed my guys with block and dodge right away, and I decided to go with more of a screening tactic by turn 2 or 3, but it was already too late. I already lost 3 guys.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to screen when you got those Swiss cheese holes in your defense. Yeah, we're just looking at that game right now. I remember that one. Charles, any other questions for this team or the coach?
Yeah, I want to say, first of all, I really like the uniforms and the logo.
Oh my god.
It looks crazy to me. It's beautiful.
Right, it's like you expect Hornets with black and yellow stripes, but what people really want are polka dots.
Nobody wants polka dots, and nobody wants Charles' opinion. Oh, it's horrible. Juvasek, do you have anything? Do you have any way to save the show?
Yeah, I actually have a pretty harsh question. Usually, when you lose your matches, I noticed that it's logical, of course, to happen, but it's pretty rough. That like your last game, first turn, you got 2 players injured, 1 KO'd and 1 stunned. So 4 hit, 4 armor breaks into 3 casualties. How do you recover from that?
How do I recover from those big things? Well, first thing I do is I pray to Nuffle, because obviously I wasn't praying hard enough.
Wait, how many players do you feel confident with on the pitch that you can still score with? I know some people say L's only need 3-4 players, but
I mean, I would call maybe 5 or 6 depending on the team. Okay. I guess I could. It depends on who you're facing, but elves can still play with just a few people left. But I mean, obviously, I want to keep my players on the pitch. How I recover from a lot of that stuff, I mean, it depends. If they're KOs, I usually try to score quickly so I can get them back if I can. But after I've lost a lot of people, I usually default to a screen. When I have my whole team, I like to try to harass and, pick at the edges of the cages, try to get them to fail a dodge here or there, because elves are really good at capitalizing on, a failed dodge or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. And what are your plans on your team? Because I can see you have 11 players and you have 100k. Are you planning on taking some subs or not?
I would like to. I usually like to have 2 linemen on the side just in case, but I've been kind of playing each game looking at the opponent's team value because I don't want to give them too many inducements. So it really kind of depends on, usually a day or 2 before the game, I'll check out what their team value is and kind of make my decision on whether or not I want another lineman or not.
Okay, I think that's the best approach by far. Charles picked you for winning this division, and
Sorry.
No, it's
no. Charles cursed you. What are you talking about? He should apologize to you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry then.
Yeah, you were doomed.
Nah,
just from the beginning.
I can't blame it on that. It's bad luck to be superstitious. So.
You don't know Charles then.
All right, Charles. Any other questions?
Talk to us about the main event from this week versus Commanders in Greece.
Yeah, so I'd actually faced him back in the Eurogamer, and it was a really close match. And I just barely pulled off a victory. And in here, after getting beat up right in the beginning, I had quite a few guys go down, and I felt that when it was 1-1, towards the end, I felt like I was going to be able to keep it to a tie because he only had 1 guy up there to score, and I had him almost surrounded. And then I stood a guy up near the middle of the field thinking it was oh, well, it'll just give him an extra die to roll to possibly fail on. But he used that to chain push one of his guys up a couple squares and into scoring range, and it was some beautiful tactics. I gotta give him props for that. I did not see it coming. So I guess if I could redo a match, maybe it was that one, and not stand that guy up.
Oh, painful. Yeah.
That's one of those things you learn as the more you play, you'll see those things set up.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Any parting words you want to tell? You've still got a few games left. Anybody coming up or previous games? Feel free to trash talk all you want or whatever.
Oh boy.
Nothing? You gonna let your play do the trash talking?
Yeah. I think. I mean, it hasn't been doing all that great so far, but
You started out with high hopes, but just kind of averaging off.
I was excited when everything started, and it's just kind of been downhill from this.
I wouldn't get too sad about it. I mean, your statistics and everything look okay. Your wins are okay for middle of the road, and you'll get seeded next season somewhere with comparable teams. So it's not like
That's
you're gonna
fair.
it's not like you're gonna go up against heavy hitting killers again. But then again, maybe you will.
I don't know. With all the Nurgle in the league,
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's a
Talk
smart
to us
coach
about
who
it.
knows about the Nurgle apocalypse. It's coming. I can smell
Yeah.
it. Smell the funk coming.
It's not superstition, folks. It's coming.
It's coming. All right, well, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back. Thanks to our guest, Clown Thulu, for coming on the show. Stay tuned for a word from these sponsors. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is the main event in our undercard series. We take a look at one game, and Charles will make his pick of what he thinks is the most interesting game of the week. So, Charles, why don't you tell us who you decided as the main event this week?
For this week, it had to be the top guys, Bog Bombers, facing the Nurgle, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, these are the top. Oh, are they first and second place right now?
They might be because Dazed and Confused face Scap-Up Skavens. If they win, they will be second place, so this would be a first and second place matchup.
All right, yeah. Dazed and Confused comes in at 1690. Bog Bombers 1590. Let's see. I just want to take a quick look. It looks like Dazed and Confused is healthy at this point, and it also looks like Bog Bombers may be healthy at this point. The division hasn't rolled over yet, but it doesn't look like there's any injuries here. So it'll be about 100 points difference between the teams. What are your keys to the victory here, or matchup?
Yeah, for the Nurgle, I think it's about basing the opponent to use the regen, disturbing presence, actually foul appearance, and the strength advantage they have, but not spreading out, because if they spread out too much, that's where the humans with the superior mobility can get them. And then on the neutral side, I think both the Ogre and the Beast are very important to their teams. Of course, if they go head to head, the Beast is better, hands down. But it's about who controls the opponent's big guy better. Both teams have ways to base and give some low value targets to those guys.
Yeah.
And both of them can be pretty important on keeping the line of scrimmage for their teams. And then for Bog Bombers, their 4 dodge players are the key, because there's 0 tackle on that Nurgle team. So they will be pretty free to roam.
Alright. The only thing I see interesting here is that the Bog Bombers are carrying 210,000 in cash. So, I mean, they're 60k over. If they drop that, however, buys cheerleaders and then cut them, that's enough for a wizard if they need it. But it just depends on what they're doing. Dazed and Confused, of course, has to be aware of that.
Their linemen are actually 50k, so they could get an extra guy if they wanted.
Yeah, but that would
And
count that
still be
against
a-
your TV. So I'm saying, if he wants to get a wizard, he just needs to cut.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's got 100k coming, so if he cuts that 60k, he's got a wizard. But in this
But
game,
he
as I
can
said,
use the money on a wizard anyways.
I could scum the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Don't be that guy. All right. Who are you
It's
picking?
part of the game.
Yeah, I forget you're that guy. Who are you picking in this game? Juvasek, who do you like in this one?
I think Pog Bombers will go for a wizard no matter what, even if they buy a player and spend extra cash to buy the wizard, because it's that a big of a deal in this game. Probably
Yeah.
if they win, they cannot lose first place. It's only a miracle after to lose it. So I heavily favor them if they get the wizard that they will win.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think the Bow Bombers got this one just because of the dodge pieces, like Charles said. No tackle on the Nurgle. Charles, who do you got?
Yeah, the Nurgle have a chance to blow the race for the playoffs open, but I think the humans can find a way to score, and if they have the wizard, then their defense is pretty set.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with them, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Nurgle pulls something off.
All right. Let's take a look at our next matchup. That would be Ska Poppin' Skavens versus Drakdar Squad.
Yeah, we don't know how the Skaven will look after going through the Nurgle
Okay.
matchup.
Yeah, that could definitely change it. Let's take a look at Drakdar. Comes in with a Blitzer out and a lineman out for sure. So at 1390, that's going to drop his
And-
TV a little. And like you said, Ska Poppin'
And they're
Skaven.
pretty psyched with their great victory last week.
Yeah, that's true. I think in this battle, just going off that, I'm going to pick the Drakdar Squad. Coming in off the win on the high. And I
Yeah,
don't think this is the Skaven. I don't think they get their win here.
I'm doing the same, yeah.
All right. Juvasek.
And
Yeah, me too.
All right. A unanimous decision there. Blue Varian Solarian versus Sterling Hornets. Now, these are teams going in different directions. Let's see. Blue Varian comes in at 1480, Sterling Hornets at 1500, so just a little 20-point difference there. Nobody has cash over the limit. And one skink is out, and one lineman is out. So, not a huge difference either way. Charles, who do you like in this one?
I think it's a toss-up. I actually thought a lot about who to pick here, so then I thought, well, I'm gonna support the elves, and the lizardmen have lost to the other elf team, so I'm picking them, but I think it's close.
Okay. I am going to pick the Lizardmen just because he's got 2 Mighty Blow pieces now. He's got 3 with block. I mean, he's getting close. Once you have all 6 Sauruses with block, your team is pretty much set for the rest of your run. So I think he's very close at this point. Who do you like in this one, Juvasek?
I will go with the lizards also because of the 2 mighty blows and the lack on dodge. If they just don't focus those pieces, even if they get down on score, they will probably outbust them and win.
Yep, I agree. All right, and Grumble Grok Gorgers versus the Beer Brawl Club. The Gorgers come in at 1740, still the fattest team in the division. It's amazing. 1340 for the Beer Brawl Club, and let's take a look and see if anybody is out or injured. Looks like the Gorgers come in missing a Noblar, which is, oh, let me see. That Noblar is movement 4, so he's already been busted. He may be cut. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Brawl Club comes in completely healthy. I think for this one, I have to go with the Brawl Club. They've proven that they have what it takes. The only problem here is that the Ogres like to base and punch, so that could be trouble.
Yeah,
they have a lot
I think
of
they'll
guard.
have trouble dealing with the strength. And if there aren't like 1 or 2 Nobblers on the pitch, I think the Ogres can pull it off this time.
Boy, I think with all that Dauntless and guard, I think the Brawl Club can take it. Who do you like, Juvasek?
Yeah, I will go with the dwarfs also. I think they will get the wizard, they will get the huge player on the field. I personally would love to see him picking up a bombardier in this matchup because Gnoblers are so fragile.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I think they got the upper hand because of the difference in team value mostly, and because dwarfs got the guard and they don't need anything else.
Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with you. All right, let's take a look at our next matchup here. Let me get to it. That would be Dazed and Confused, Bogue Bombers. Oh, we already took a look at that one. Mass Bolts, Sweet Teeth Forever. Oh, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Let me see if I can pull that web page up. It's loading very slowly, so feel free to chit chat about the game while we wait.
Yeah, classic Elf on Necro matchup. Usually people say Necro is favored. I think they are not at that point yet because they don't have the kill pressure still to damage those elves, and they are AV8.
Yeah.
So I think they look great right now, this elf team, and since the Necro don't have many ways to cause damage, I'm picking the elves.
All right, yeah, the Mass Bolts come in at 1620, Sweet Teeth come in at 1480. The elves come in completely healthy, and so do the Sweet Teeth Forever. Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of tackle on this team, and only one Mighty Blow piece, and Claw is kind of pointless here at that point.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with you. I'm gonna take the Mass Bolts on this one just because they have the JCPenney catalog outfits. So, who do you like in this one, Juvasek?
Actually, I will pick Mass Bolts also. I don't think they are heavily favored. I would put it into 55-45% game because of the wizard that the Necro will get. They have 10k more, so it's exactly for the wizard without spending any extra money.
Alright.
I would heavily favor them if I could see one tackle piece, but that's the reason I will pick Mass Bolts in the end.
Alright, and the Rebbl Chiefs, these are going to have their one of their lowest scoring games of the season going up against the admin team.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. They got to feel outrageous. That's outrageous. Bring out your Undead versus the Commanders in Grief. The Undead team, Camry team, comes in at 1620. Commanders in Grief at 1390. Oof, this is going to be an interesting
This
one.
could have been a main event any other week,
Yeah.
but it fell on the other big game.
Yeah, the Camry come in completely healthy, and
But it's a great matchup.
alignment is out for the Commanders in Grief. You know, in this game, I have to go with the Camry team. I just feel like strength is one of the hardest things to overcome for Bash teams, and he just doesn't have enough guard yet on his Black Orcs. So, my pick, Camry. Who do you got in this one, Juvasek?
I also have Camry picked in this one, even though Orcs can and will probably get the wizard. I don't think that will make up for the lack of bench,
Right.
and that 1-5 skeleton, it's scary, believe me.
Yeah.
He already knocked out 6 players and injured 6 and killed 1 just from stepping on them. So probably there will be injuries, and Orcs can't come out of it.
Yeah, that dirty player skeleton has been getting it done.
Yeah, I seem to be the one disagreeing from everyone else this week, and that's why I'm gonna go with Orcs. I think they can remove some AV7 players, and the ref can get some others out, and they can get some rerolls away from Camry just by basing those big guys and letting them hit with no block.
All right. Well, you've cursed Commanders in Grief, so I'll let them know personally that you did that to them. And why don't we take...
I'm giving them the push needed for them to win. Let's go, Anania.
I don't think that's how it works, Charles. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. Yeah, Juvasek agrees. You're the curse. You're the caster curse on this show. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll finish up the show. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is the final segment of our show where we just sit around, talk shop, talk, we kibitz with each other. Just what's going on around the league, guys? Anything interesting?
Oh, I know something interesting.
Do you? What's going on?
Some guy just beat my Dark Elf win streak record.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was first and second on that record, and now he's first and I'm second and third. But congratulations
What was
to
it?
the guy.
That was a win streak?
Harar
That was just
from
a...
Division 4C.
What was the win streak before? for
I
Dark
had
Elves?
9 straight wins as Dark Elf.
Okay.
That was the biggest ever on
Yeah.
Rebbl. But now he has 10 straight wins
Uh-oh.
on Dark Elf.
Now you know what you got to do. You got to re-roll into Dark Elves and get that title back.
Oh, or I can win with my guys.
Let's be serious here a minute, Charles. You're not going to break that record with your current team as high as you are. Just not going to
Yeah,
happen.
this kind of division, it's kind of impossible.
Yeah,
but-
even if you drop down like one division, you're still, you got a bunch of killers in those divisions as well.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, I
your
know.
best
Realistically,
chance.
I can never do it again.
Season 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3 are where Dark Elves really hit their plateau, and it's kind of a slow descent from there. Jusek, any news around your side of the pond?
Well, actually, in my division, things are getting really, really hyped up. It's an amazing season. We have 3 spots for the playoff in 3A, 1 for the major, of course, 2 for the minor. 6 teams are contending for them.
Oh, nice.
With the maximum 4-point difference, the 6th from the 1st. In the last 3 turns, anything could happen.
Now, what are the top
Nice.
teams in your division? Like, are they what race? Any idea?
Unfortunately, it's a Dark Elf first.
Yeah.
A great good
Look
though.
at that.
Yeah, I am second with my dwarfs.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, Breds are third. Nergl, Kermri, and Dark Elf. The rest.
More Dark Elf. Boy, this Dark Elf apocalypse is coming as well. I gotta curb that one too.
Well, they
Yeah,
they die at,
I
at
beat
some
all of them though. The Dark Elves.
Oh.
It was an easy win. Yeah.
Easy win. Ah, good.
Well, I beat some dwarfs on my time, so
Have
Yeah,
you?
actually, yeah, they were. It was not an easy win, but I just wanted to say it for Charles.
Yeah, absolutely. Give Charles the business. He deserves it. There is a Rebbl game of the week coming up, or game of the year. Did you guys happen to see that one?
oh, I
did
missed
that.
it.
Yeah, somebody put out I don't know who, some anonymous person put out some video about some game that's a huge game, like bigger than the Andy Davo and Jimmy Fantastic game. I mean,
Sure.
that was a game of skill. This is a game of hate coming up. I don't know
And
who.
Everyone should check it out.
Everyone
Yeah.
should check it out. Apparently, it's supposed to be a big deal. I talked to Rusty Seabutter. Even he's thinking about covering this one. So
You wouldn't want to miss the game of the year.
No,
that
game-
would be pretty stupid.
yeah, you want to be able to tell your kids where you were at when you saw this game. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that'll
I'm
be
going right there right now on
booking your tickets. I hear you.
Rebbl,
Yeah,
booking my tickets to watch it
yeah,
again.
absolutely. Good idea. Good idea. You know about this game, Juvasek?
No idea. Just
Oh.
heard
Oh,
you.
there's a. Do you remember when a coach created the last season the bounty program for any dead chorf?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Dwiggs. He created this program, and then it was called the Chorf Culling. But then in the first week of the season, everybody was so excited about him, other players collecting this bounty, and on a streamer called Eisen Mike's channel, he was playing Chaos Dwarfs, and everybody was all hyped about it. And the Chaos Dwarf killer, the first punch of the game was a chainsaw to a Yeti to dead. And after that, just everybody shut up about the Chorf culling, and it became the Chorfening. And that coach name was Wolfram Ajax, and he is facing off against Dwiggs this season. So we have the opposite ends of the Chorf fiasco going head to head.
So it was you. I had to understand it. Yeah, I had to figure out it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. Some anonymous person put a video together explaining what was going on. I think it's in the.
Was the media actually?
Yeah, it was somebody in the
Sports
media. Oh yeah, big time sports media. All right, so that's my game Saturday. Oof, that's gonna be a rough one. His team's way more advanced than mine. Anything else going
Just
on?
go for damage.
Don't talk to me about
Don't talk.
advanced teams in my division, please. No.
No.
It's a pain. It's
Yeah.
a pain, believe me.
Yeah, he's got a human team, and he got to play a lot of games after I played, and so it was like I wrecked a team, and he got to clean up after him, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like 300 TV ahead of me. It's just like getting ridiculous. So we finally meet. It'll be settled on the field. Any other news from around Rebbl? Anything going on? I mean, it's kind of winding
Don't
down right
think
now.
so. Yeah, 3 games to end the season.
3 games to end the season, so don't drop out now. Don't let your fellow clan or your fellow league members down. And then signups will start back again for next season. You can keep your team, or if, like you're Charles, you're just going to re-roll your team. That's fine too. All right. Juvasek, any parting words?
No, I'm really happy that I got the chance and it's everything fine, so I get to join you again. I'm having a great time. I just wanted to say that to everyone that is listening that I spend more time now streaming, and if they have a game, because I don't have time to check on all of them, and they could message me on Discord and cover it live on stream if they want to come and watch it or watch the replay after. I tend to commentary on the choices and the decision made, not that everything I say is correct, probably half of them are, but they could get the chance to review the game, maybe watch some comments also and improve themselves. It's happening for me, so why not for everyone else?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said earlier, Juvasek's stream is a perfect time for me, so I try to tune in as much as I can. Charles, any parting words from you?
Watch your sex stream.
All right. That's a heck of a parting word, Charles. Always on top of your game, I see. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys all next week. See ya.
See ya.